In 1977, a spacecraft was launched from Earth with an ambitious mission to explore the outer planets of our solar system and venture further than any human-made object had ever dared to go. Its name, Voyager 1. At first, its mission seemed straightforward, to send back images and data from the gas giants, Jupiter and Saturn. And it did just that. The Voyager 1 sent home breathtaking images of swirling storms on Jupiter, the majestic rings of Saturn, and moons that no one had ever imagined could exist. But what no one could have predicted was that this tiny spacecraft, powered by an aging nuclear generator, would continue its journey for decades. As it hurtled through the void, millions of miles away, far beyond the planets it was built to study, Voyager 1 was heading toward a far greater destination, the very edge of our solar system. Beyond the orbits of Neptune and Pluto lies a boundary few understand, the heliopause. It's the point where the sun's influence ends and the endless stretch of the interstellar medium begins. Voyager 1 was on a collision course with the unknown. Would it survive? Would it tell us anything about the space between stars? No one knew what awaited the spacecraft out there in the vast silent gulf of space. But Voyager 1 wasn't slowing down. It pressed forward, determined to push the limits of human discovery, ready to face whatever came next. Decades after it first left Earth, Voyager 1 had crossed the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's influence ends, and entered the uncharted territory of interstellar space. It was a monumental achievement, one that marked humanity's first step into the vast expanse beyond our solar system. But then, something strange began to happen. In 2022, the spacecraft started sending back signals that left scientists at NASA scratching their heads. The data was off. It wasn't just noise or interference. It was something more peculiar. The readings from Voyager 1's systems didn't match its real position or orientation. Was the spacecraft malfunctioning after all these years? Or was it detecting something unknown, something we hadn't anticipated? Even though the spacecraft had been floating through space for over 40 years, its systems were still working, but not in the way they were supposed to. The problem seemed to be in Voyager's control systems, the very systems that keep the spacecraft properly aligned to communicate with Earth. Was this the beginning of the end for the legendary Voyager 1? NASA's engineers raced to find a solution, but with the spacecraft nearly 15 billion miles away, every command they sent took more than 20 hours to reach it, and 20 hours for the response to come back. Time was running out, and the mystery of the strange signals deepened. What is Voyager 1 trying to tell us? Could these be signs of something entirely new, something we've never encountered in space before? If you're as fascinated by these mysteries as we are, don't miss out. Hit that subscribe button right now. We've got more incredible stories about space, science, and the unknown coming your way. It took a lot of effort to gather all this info, so don't miss out. As NASA pushes forward, so do we, eager to uncover what the Voyager's strange signals really mean, and what might lie ahead in the infinite dark of space. But despite the strange data, Voyager 1 was still sending back valuable information, its faint signal a lifeline from the farthest reaches of space. NASA engineers worked around the clock, trying to diagnose the problem. They couldn't physically fix the spacecraft, of course. It was far beyond the reach of any human hands, but they could send commands, test responses, and hope for the best. The issue seemed to lie with the system responsible for the spacecraft's orientation, the attitude control system. This system was crucial. Without it, Voyager wouldn't be able to point its antenna toward Earth, cutting off its only means of communication. And yet, despite the system's erratic behavior, Voyager 1 kept transmitting data as if nothing was wrong. It was a race against time. The spacecraft was aging, and power was running low. NASA had already begun shutting down some of its instruments to conserve energy, prioritizing those that could still send back the most valuable information. Every decision was critical. One wrong move and they could lose contact with Voyager forever. But so far, against all odds, it kept going, drifting through the silent abyss, 14 billion miles away from home, pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible.